time is not on our side. Over the next 7 years, 10,000 individuals will turn 65 every day. And all members of the baby boomer generation, the generation that instilled in us that change for a better society is possible, will all have crossed the 65 threshold. The reality is that the infrastructure to support our burgeoning and diverse aging population is not being developed at the pace of increasing needs, especially in communities of color and those who lack resources. Our nation's capital is home to over 84,000 older adults. This important community is expected to grow by as much as 24% in the next 7 years. And for the first time in U.S. history, our country will be home to more older adults than children. While our aging community is experiencing greater longevity than ever before, there is a growing population of unseen, unheard, and uncared for among us. There are elders, siblings, neighbors, and parents who are living with Alzheimer's disease and related dementias. The Alzheimer's Association has described the rising prevalence of dementia as a public health crisis, calling it the silent epidemic. Today, an estimated 14,000 individuals in DC are living with a form of dementia, with that number expected to triple over the next 30 years. And of the city's annual $20 billion budget, not $1 goes to support intensive, community-based, long-term care navigation to care for them. There is only one organization in the nation's capital developing an ecosystem of support to care for individuals impacted by dementia and their family care partners, and that organization is Iona Senior Services. We're developing a community-based infrastructure of support through our Dementia Navigator, Money Management, and Adult Day Health programs to meet the long-term care needs of people impacted by Alzheimer's and other dementias. Often, the first signs of cognitive decline show up when an older adult has difficulty managing their finances. Iona's Money Management program provides our first safety net to help people navigate financial responsibilities and protect older adults from falling prey to exploitation and homelessness. Axios recently highlighted that nearly 40% of DC's homeless population is over the age of 55, our older neighbors. Iona's Money Management program is not only a safety net, but an important homeless prevention program to keep vulnerable older adults in their homes.
Do you ever get a spark that sets you on fire with it? Well, you know it or you don't.
I'm amazed when I meet older adults who still have that love of life. They still have that spark and that energy, and that's Miss Ross. She loves looking at art. So we share things of that love of art, love of just music and song. She's given me a CD recently of her music and her songs.
Well, I'll sing a song. Amazing grace, how sweet, Amazing Grace.
Money management can be overwhelming for a lot of older adults. They could become homeless and lose housing if their bills go unpaid. Ms. Ross started out, like many of our seniors that we work with, they're single or widowed or widowers. A lot of times, people just need someone there to talk to. From the case manager, she was referred to the money management program. When I come in with her twice a month, I usually come in, I help her write her rent check to maintain her housing, and then I also help her go through her mail to make sure she, reads through her mail, and if she's gotten anything important that she needs to act on, and then I assist her with that.
I don't understand most of what she does.
Okay.
Numbers, she's in the mine there in the dark. She's got some kind of a lantern on her, and she's reading stuff. And you came up with a couple of one subject that got me a little extra revenue, because her points up here are like saviors.
It was a team of people at Iona, so it didn't just start with me. I love Iona because they offer wraparound services, and so we're meeting the needs of all seniors.
But it's the way the people here meet ideas. There's an approach that is so clean and simple because everybody here is edgy in the best kind of way.
As we emerge from the pandemic, we reflect on the lessons learned about the need to address isolation, loneliness, and income insecurity, which often go hand in hand. In a city where 74% of older adults live alone and over 15% struggle to cover basic living costs, Iona launched the In-Home Peer Support Program with a dual purpose: to provide assistance and companionship to isolated older adults across the city while offering part-time employment for older adults who'd like to help their neighbors. Studies indicate the damaging impact of isolation, so we're developing programs to ensure all people can continue to age well in their community.
I think we find our conversations fun.
Oh yeah, humor is a part of everything we do. And I think that's what makes the relationship go down so well. If we didn't both have a good sense of humor.
Oh, and he needs a sense of humor with me because I can get crabby. In 2013, my back went out and I was in a wheelchair. And there was no clear assurance that I would walk. And so I had a social service person at Iona worked with me. And she asked me what I wanted, what I expected, and she prepared how I could plan to have to move out of my apartment. But basically, she treated me with respect. I was willing to test the peer program because I had such admiration for Iona.
The In-Home Peer Support Program is a pilot program Iona is running. We're outreaching to our DC neighbors who are 60 years and older to provide in-home support such as social interaction, companionship, perhaps assistance with grocery shopping or some small in-home tasks. Sometimes it's hard for people to ask for help or know what kind of help they may need. The way the program is presented, it's a peer helping out. It's someone who might be able to relate to what the participant is experiencing.
I got an email on my neighborhood listserv that said Iona was looking for volunteers. That's how I got involved.
I moved into a new place. Kevin helped me move. He got 61 books to the public library donation. But having Kevin has helped me to enjoy where I am living now. And that is a great point for this program. An older person moving into assisted living, oh, they're taking care of you. She might or he might feel very lonely.
And this move for you was after living in your old place for 40 years. That was, it wasn't just something she does every other weekend.
Yeah, it's been crucial to have this program at this moment. COVID socially isolated all of us, right? And for folks who didn't have that social support, that social network, social interaction, that just exacerbated that isolation.
For someone considering being a part of this peer support program, I would heartily endorse.
I will feel more confident living alone and finding companionship than I would have otherwise.
Every aspect of successful aging begins with healthy nutrition. It's something we all know to be true. DC ranks highest in senior hunger in the nation today. Iona's food programs work hard to eliminate senior hunger in DC by ensuring our older neighbors have access to nutritious meals and fresh produce. This year, we're expanding our efforts by developing a community dining site to provide nutritious, hot meals to residents at the Regency House, the only public housing available for older persons in Ward 3. Of the 140 plus Regency House tenants, over 40% have one or more disabilities, and nearly 80% of them live alone. And we're expanding our food pantry program to Ward 8 so that older adults in the region can have more options and access to food.
I like challenging myself, pushing myself. Because a lot of times, a lot of people look at me, they say, oh, she can't use that arm or whatever. But I got a good brain, and this side works good. I was a former government worker, but I got a job working as a maintenance person. And on my lunch hour, I went to make some purchases in a DC store. And on my way back, I was hit in the back by a car. That left me paralyzed from my neck and my arm, but I've been working on it. So I became disabled. At that time, I was 48. So I decided to retire. From retirement, I became homeless, a homeless person.
I'm involved with the SHARE program, which is a Catholic Charities program, and we deliver a box of food and fresh produce and meats.
Got the meat, and I think it was a couple of canned goods, but also it was some items that I really did not expect. It was some detergent. That really shocked me.
So last year, our nutrition department first started to talk about expanding our produce program into Regency House. And it took a few months to sort of get things together. And in May, I contacted her because she's the resident council president at Regency House to tell her what our plan was. And she, from the beginning, was very helpful and very optimistic about it. And she was instrumental in allowing us to set this program up.
I got into the produce because I took over the Regency Council president. Before then, I was involved with our owner in helping to set up the veggies when we used to have the residents come down and pick their own veggies.
The reactions from seniors receiving the pantry deliveries has been overwhelmingly positive. It really helps them stretch their resources and get through the month.
I feel like I got power. I mean, I've been blessed by a lot of good things from our owner. I think my job in life is to share when in need, share what you know, because people have shared with me.
Together, we can envision and build a society where every individual has the opportunity to age with dignity. A society where we care for our most vulnerable and honor the beauty of aging so that all people can age well and live well.